Hello and welcome to Illustrator. So we're going to be looking at the shape builder tool first of all. So here we've got a rectangle. We're just going to draw a rectangle onto the artboard here, and we're going to hold down this and we're going to select the polygon tool. We're going to click on the artboard, change this to 8, so it's an octagon, and we're going to make sure that fill is now red. And here we can change some of the sizing of it, so we'll change it to say 400. And what I'd like it to do is we can make it the same height. If we hold down shift, we can make it so it's going to be the same height. And that should be on this side as well. So now what we can do is we can just move this over and it should be perfectly lined up. Okay, so what we might want to do with this is there's different ways to combine the shapes, to merge the shapes. So if I select it all, so I'm going to draw a marquee box. You can also press Ctrl A to select all. And then we go to this, which is the shape builder tool. You'll notice that when I hover over, I've got 3 different sections. So how might we want to combine these? Well, we might want this rectangle to be a fully blue rectangle. Okay, so what I do is I select the rectangle, and I can just hold down and then drag a line across, and then that will create the blue shape. Alternately, I may want to make the whole area red. So I would select this bit and then I'll just draw a shape over and that would make the whole shape red. Now what if I wanted to make all of this one shape and it all would be blue? Well, I would click here first of all, and then I would draw into this section and then this section as well. And now that it's just one shape, so you can see this is just one big shape. And what if I wanted to do the opposite of that? Well, I would just click in this section and then draw a line encompassing all 3 shapes, and that is also one shape. So that's a way to combine, merge shapes however you want. And you can also hold down Alt if you wanted to remove certain areas. So for instance, if I wanted to remove this, I hold down, I'd make sure I've got the tool selected. I can just remove that area, or I could just remove that area. So keep in mind, when I actually did this, what that's actually doing is deleting the left side of the octagon. So if I go back to the selection tool, double click this bit, you can see it's actually a separate piece now. And similarly, if we go to, if we did, for instance, so for instance, say I did it this way around, that would also be a separate piece. So you have to connect all 3 sections if you want it just to be one big shape. We can do view, fit all in window. That will help us to get the sizing back to what we want. Okay, now let's do a gradient fill. So what we can do is we can draw all the way from here, and you can see this is still the red box that we just had before. So when you draw the red box, you can see this is the menu you get when you press the fill button. But you can click the button at the bottom that says show swatch kinds. And if you go to gradient swatches, you can see a selection of gradients. So say we chose this sky one, what I'd then be able to do is I'll be able to edit the gradient. So you can choose which one you want. You can have the radial freeform gradient, the sky one. So and what you can do here is there's various different options for this, right? So you can double click on one of the sliders. You can change the color of that slider. You can also press the bin, and then that will put it in the bin. So this reverses it, so you've got it the other way around. And you can change the angle of the gradient. So you can also drag the gradient along the line to get the shape you want, to get the color distribution that you want. We'll have a circle. And we'll change the gradient on this one. We can have, say, the radial gradient there. Now what you can do with this is you can actually do some pretty cool effects with this. So go to distort and transform. The zigzag tool is pretty cool, because you can essentially have loads of stars here, and you can do smooth, change the amount of ridges as well. So it's quite easy to make some pretty awesome shapes. So there we go, like a gear shapes there. You can also, when you drag it like this, you can see you can get it to go to the center. So once you get it to the center, you can see underneath the text there. Just trying to see if I can actually get it. You see, when it says that, it says intersect. When you hold it down, you can just let go there, and it should be nicely centered. And so from there, what we could do actually is you could keep it at 0 there and just move it up. Say to like you could move it up there, and say we wanted to put, say, a text box underneath. We can draw our text box underneath. And say we want this to be like probably about 180. We can remove the text in there. We can type in our username. And let's go for, is it wood rose? No, rosewood, that's the one. So we can select that. And we can put our name there. 170, yep. And that's pretty cool. Like, you can do stuff with your font. Might want to do like might keep it in line with that gear on top. Do it a bit higher. So yeah, normally you want to do a stylize, so we do a drop shadow effect. I like to do like I really like these bright green colors. So we'll try something like that. That looks maybe it's slightly lower on the offset actually. Slightly more blur. Let me just see if we make this a little bit. Let's do 100. So for instance, we could just do something simple like that. One other thing that you can do, which is kind of cool as well, is if we can look in the different fonts, and you can actually quite easily see, even with these things affected, you could see like all these cool different fonts. Now, one of the cool things as well that you can do with this, these are just kind of like regular fonts in a way. I mean, they're kind of like quite well known, a lot of these fonts. But if you wanted to see the really cool ones, which are in they find more, which is activate Adobe fonts instantly. You see, these are the really cool like ones which are available on the Adobe store. And here you can find some like really unusual ones, right? They're much more than just what you would find in the regular font menu or the one that you might have on your computer. So you can find like so it's definitely worth, like, there's a lot of, that's like a comic book type one, and so all you have to do is just click on the cloud at the side, and that will actually download that font, and you'll be able to use it for all your projects, which is pretty cool. But you can see lots of really like unusual looking fonts to check out. You can see we can also use the align. So yeah, I think that will do it for this first video. We're going to take a look at some more features of Adobe Illustrator very soon. So thanks for watching.